The following video is not made for kids under 13. If you are not 13 years old, please exit out of the video now. And please, YouTube, do not sue me. Sup guys, Mooky here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Had Cloud Strifes powers. This is part 14. In the last part, Izuku and Shoto battle against each other with both their attacks, with Izuku's finishing touch and Shoto's, heated fire blast attack was cancel each other out, causing both of them to go out of bounds. With that said, let's get into this where we last left off. After what happened, and it takes a while for Cementos to get the arena back in place, and also gave almost everybody to get their bearings after seeing such a wild and powerful fight and everything between two prodigies. As for Izuku and Shoto, they're both in the infirmary with Izuku waking up just now. As he begins thinking, where the hell am I? And my head is killing me. After looking around, he sees that Shoto is already up. As he says, well, about time you woke up, Midoriya. As he says, Todoroki, when did you... Wait, the match. What happened? As he says, don't worry. I just found out that our match is a tie. And not only that, we've been out for at least for a good 10 minutes or so. So don't worry about it. As he says, how long you been up? As he tells him 5 minutes. And yeah, I realize. And I want to ask you something. As Izuku's preparing, wondering, don't tell me he's going to be asking about this whole double quirk thing. And about me related to All Might. As he says, what were you really trying to save me? Or were you really just screwing around? As he's saying, you want the honest answer or not? Or as Shoto tells him, don't screw with me. Tell me the truth. As Izuku tells him, honestly, I knew you were suffering. You couldn't tell if you were your own self or you were just your father or mother's creation. I can tell you didn't know who you were. I had to help you find who you are as a person, not as somebody's masterpiece. You can't be a real hero if you hold yourself back. You know that, don't you, Todoroki? As Todoroki saying, you're right. I can't. If I hold myself back, innocent people might get hurt. And if I had the power to save them, I failed, all because of my own personal hang-ups. As Izuku saying, right, and I didn't want you suffering because of that. Shoto soon asks again, why do you care so much about other people? As Izuku says, it's just what a hero does. A hero saves others, protects them, wants to give them at least a second chance. That's what Zach always taught me. He always told me that you gotta save everyone, even those who are villains. Sometimes you find out things that you just never expect. As Shoto begins thinking, I wish I could have met Zach Fair, soldier. Was he really that cool? Was he really that good of a hero? As Izuku begins going, that good of a hero? He was one of the best, one of the greatest. He became a hero not for the fame or the fortune. He became a hero just to help people and save lives. That's why he's known as the mercenary hero, because he didn't do it for the fame or fortune. He did it just for others. That's all. After Shoto hears this, he begins thinking, I wish I could have met him once, seeing how much you look up to him more than even All Might. And Izuku saying, I look up to All Might quite a bit. He was my idol growing up, but Zack was my inspiration. My true inspiration on wanting to be a hero. As after hearing this, the two began talking even more, asking on the reasons on why they wanted to be heroes, why they want to become stronger, and why they want to and why both of them want to aim for number one now. As the two began developing a true friendship and everything. Soon after that, everyone soon came in with Ochiko, Tifa, Ida, Suyu, and Momo along came inside as well, wondering how they were doing and if they're doing okay. As both of them agreed, saying they're all right, smiling. As soon after noticing that both of them are awake, Recovery Girl soon came in, telling them that she needed to check and see how all of them are doing, if there's no permanent damage or stuff that she missed. As they all left, with Tifa feeling quite worried alongside Ochiko as well, with the two of them thinking that something bad might happen to Izuku, as he just gives off a little smile saying he'll be okay. With that said, it's shown that Shoto is doing pretty okay, just a couple aches and pains, which he'll be fine. As for Izuku, he pushed his body pretty far and has quite a bit of muscle tissue basically torn, which is a good thing since his muscle fibers just get stronger. But still, as she tells him that after the next matches go on, they have to do a tie-breaking match to see who would move on to the next round. As they said, it'll be their pleasure, and they look forward to it, smiling at one another. And after that, the next match was Titus versus Tifa, which I didn't explain Titus's quirk, which is called Water Master, which he's able to manipulate any water near his vicinity. So, since one of his main, hero items is basically a sword made out of pure water, he can make it as sharp as a blade or as blunt as he needs to be. So which is his trademark Brotherhood sword, if you guys know in Final Fantasy X. He fights against Tifa, which he does pretty actually well in. Tifa is a lot faster and quite stronger than him, with doing a volley, a barrage, of kicks and punches. But he's able to manipulate his sword to create barriers and able to block them. Not only that, he's quite athletic and quite agile, almost on the same level as Zidane, and his quirk is just called agility. But in the end, Tifa wins with a heavy punch to Titus's chest, knocking him out of the ring and out cold as well. The next match is Cecil versus Mina, and Cecil just basically defeats Mina pretty easily, with not even trying. He basically dissolves her acid with his light-based attacks and knocks her back with his dark javelin attack. However, she never got out of bounds, and basically told her just to give up because she knows that she won't win. As that, and just like in canon, Bakugo versus Kirishima, just like in canon. So, and Bakugo wins. So, just in case you guys want to know. And then, however, for the tie-breaking match for Izuku and Shoto, who would go on next, would be basically a power match. Who has the most strongest power without them working together? Cementos would create a giant wall and see whose power would be greater to destroy it. A wall thick enough that not even All Might would have a hard time breaking, as with just one punch. As the first one being up being Izuku, as he generates all the power, all of his Mako energy through his wooden sword, and tries to use instead of using his finishing touch, he decides to use his meteorite, summoning a giant meteor from his sword and hits down onto the giant wall, which deals quite a bit of damage and chunk on the top of the giant wall. As for Shoto, he tries doing the same attack that he did before, which using his ice and his flames at the same time to superheat the ice to create a giant explosion. However, he still feels hesitant even after doing it. I think it's mostly due to him forgetting that his father even existed, and forgetting the pain and what his mother did to him. He didn't cause a huge enough explosion that would destroy the wall, causing him to lose the match, with Izuku going to the next one. However, seeing this, Izuku confronted Shoto and asked, "Hey, Todoroki, what the hell was that? Come on, I knew you had more power than that. Heck, you could have gone to the next match if you gave it your all." As he says, "Midoriya, I want to say thank you. Even though I couldn't give it everything I got like I did before, I was still able to use my flames. I was still able to overcome my past. And because of you, I thank you a lot. So, with that said, give him everything you got and overcome this." After Izuku hears this, he says, "I'll win for you. I promise. I'm not going down anytime soon." After hearing this, Shoto begins saying, "Thank you, Izuku Midoriya," and walks off to the stands. After that, Izuku is given at least 10 minutes to prepare his fight against Tifa. He's soon going to be fighting against his old childhood friend, the person that he looked up to and cared for and cares about, who protected him when no one else did before he met Zack. So he looks forward to meet. He prefers to give it everything he's got, because if he didn't, it wouldn't feel much of a fight and much of a match, and he would also be disappointing her as well. After preparing, he prepares to hit the ring alongside his sword. As not only that, he feels like the wooden sword that was given to him by All Might, feels like a couple of cracks are in the blade, which makes a lot of sense, since I'm pretty sure this sword can handle this much power that Izuku was basically putting it through. But he still hopes that it can hold up until he can win the sports festival. He goes to the arena where he sees Tifa preparing herself for the next match. As she says, "You ready to lose, Izuku?" As he says, "I think that's my line, Tifa. You ready to lose instead?" And she gives off a little smirk saying, "You may have a quirk now, but you're still to me the same Izuku that always needs protecting. And I don't plan on giving up being your protector anytime soon." As Izuku saying, "I hope not." Midnight tells them to go, as both of them prepare to give it everything they got. As Tifa gives out a powerful kick to Izuku's sword, which causes a small shockwave, which Izuku is struggling to even hold her back, but he ends up doing it by causing an upper, by countering her attack and using multiple swings, and try using Zack's attack being his chain slash, multiple slashes moving faster than light. However, Tifa is able to dodge these attacks easily, as he begins thinking, how the hell did you?" As she says, even though I'm pretty fast, my reaction speed is faster. I had to learn this after all, being taught martial arts. After that, Izuku realized that he needs to give it everything he's got and can't hold back for one bit as he prepares to use his cross slash, but mixed in with his beam blade, and soon he fires the attack right at Tifa as she dodges it and prepares to do her own attack that called Beat Rush, rushing right at Izuku at full speed, almost catching in fire. However, Izuku was prepared for this. However, she stops scuffling flames and soon goes low and says water kick, and moving her leg so fast it almost looks like water is flowing below her as Izuku slips and begins falling as he catches himself with his sword, using his sword, pinning it into the concrete of the arena, and was able to catch himself before thinking, damn, she's fast. Even faster than I am. Hell, it makes sense since she was able to keep up with Ida. Well, gotta give everything I got. No holding back one bit. As he begins readying himself, increasing his Mako energy, began turning gold instead of green and a light blue. He begins turning gold as he prepares to dish out one of his original techniques, putting his wooden sword on his back and prepares to do his rush assault, rushing at Tifa at full speed as she begins thinking, oh, you really want to you want to go against me hand-to-hand combat? Your funeral, Izuku. As she rushes at Izuku at full speed too, as there's a flurry of punches and kicks from both of them, as everyone is surprised seeing these two giving it everything they got, seeing so much power from these heroes. Almost as everyone begins thinking, Izuku must push everyone past their limits, that he gives them the courage and strength that they need to move forward, to give it everything they got. As Ochiko and Ida began cheering both their friends on, as Ochiko cheers on both Izuku and Tifa, and Ida cheers on both of them as well, as everyone else in the stands do the same. However, Izuku begins slipping because he can't keep up with Tifa's speed, thinking that he's going to lose. However, and Tifa gets a little bit cocky, says, nighty-night, Izuku, and prepares to do a final punch. However, Izuku sees this coming. Without realizing it, he accessed One for All, and his Mako energy begins spiking all around him, creating a small shockwave that sends her a little bit flying for a bit, as Izuku doesn't know what just happened, but isn't going to look a gift horse in the mouth for nothing, and rushes at Tifa at full speed, hitting her with his wooden sword, knocking her down to the ground, and tells her to give, as she says, damn, I give up, with Midnight calling Izuku the winner. And after that, Izuku puts the one sword on his back again and reaches his hand out to Tifa, saying, that was one hell of a match. I really looked forward to it, Tifa. Thanks for giving everything you got. As she says, don't expect me to go easy on you next year. And I'm planning on winning. Reaching his hand in and was able to get up, with her actually hugging him, saying she's glad that she was able to give it everything she's got, and actually glad to see that he really has gotten a lot more stronger, and is happy to see him no longer weak. With that said, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me below and tell me what you guys think. Also, like, comment, and subscribe, which helps out my channel a lot. Anyways, this is Mooky, Signing out. Later.